Qiyana going to be picked up here. Obviously, can be fantastic engage CC or follow-up CC, but isn't always going to have the same reliable teamfight impact that a Jarvan will bring to the table. This champion used to feel like the LPL special, but it has just been rising in priority. Will now go for an invade. We'll see how this one works out. Pretty difficult for him to threaten Owner, but can just go for a steal here. Goes over, never mind, he's waiting over the wall. Observer's highlighting it beautifully, Owner. Likely gonna have to flash here. Lockup is there, might not get the chance. Doesn't even try to get over the big wall. MKOI with first blood.
It's the good karma. Draco's coming back for Oyoya.
That's the bot lane prio paying off. Of course, for now, T1 have an advantage of their own, and JoJo's pretty far up. Waterblade ready to go for Owner. JoJo can continue to step into Faker, but he just does not have any health. Phase rush, he's gonna get him out for an extra second, but Owner just finishes the kill off effortlessly. Is forced to use the flash, but nice fire back.
Mirwin having him burn his flash in these early stages, and the individual laning phases, small wins
Faker
for T1.
going in, immediate knockup, it's not gonna stop the pushback from the Emperor's Divide. JoJo Pune running, but Owner happy to grab another carry on the way as well. Instead gonna turn his attention to the wave. Elyoya finally here, but it's just too late. The lanes for MKOI.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy to do so. Again, like, you have Doran burning that flash on the top side. You have Guma, Yush, and Keria winning out on bottom lane thanks to their aggression as well. And you can see that CS lead opening. And now huge wins in the mid-jungle.
Level 4 for Alvaro. Throws the Gleaming Quill, so has been spotted. Owner not concerned whatsoever, knowing that Elyoya is on the grubs. I think MKOI should just be happy getting 2. That is a smite from Elyoya. No real reason to fistfight here. You don't have control in the mid lane. JoJo gonna move up because it's an even wave. Elyoya continuing to step up. It's only carry at level 5. When becomes lightning, Guma marked. Won't be charging in. Owner just wants to take this one. He has smite. Should be no way they can stop him, but Owner doesn't want to risk going down for it. So 3 grubs. Well played from MKOI. Qiyana can be one champion alongside a lethality bars who can burst through that Xin if he's not able to get that ultimate down and really deny a lot of that effective sustain. As TP coming in on the bottom side. Mirwin locking up Gumayushi, immediately taking him into the death realm, but he just quickly walks back, uses the power of the ult. The 1v1, the Q flash forward. Gumayushi may have overstayed as well. He's about to get taken out. Mirwin knows he has that one in the bag. Carrier now running out to safety. Extra movement speed coming in. That's the power of the spellbook Ghost. T1 caught a bit of sleep at the wheel. Risky proposition for Guma. Might have been a bit of a caster curse, honestly. Hyped him up just for him to get 1v1'd.
But he's not used to running TP, you know, so not exactly in the best of spots. Scary.
Now sprinting out. Flashing as well. Finally going to use the Unbreakable. This man is determined to live. Has a taxied off of Elyoya, but no one else is coming. They're going to use the Shockwave as well. Keria will eventually fall. Surely Keria will... Okay, Keria has fallen. All is okay. With a lethality Varus and an Azir, you would have loved to be the person getting this second Drake when you've already gotten the first, to start stacking those Drakes to guarantee a fight where MKOI at some point are going to have to fight into you. Instead, unfortunately, a bit of a flub from the bot lane of T1. Mirwin looking to rinse and repeat here. Pullback does connect onto Guma. Do they want to keep the dive going? They don't even need to go that deep. Just obliterates him. Keria gonna get taken out. Well, they know he has no unbreakable will. MKOI grab another 2 in the mid lane.
Out of nowhere, MKOI starting to pick up a few of these kills. And it's off the back of the play earlier where the flash was burned on Keria and Mirwin. He's going to be relatively fine for the moment. But I think with the way T1 have established themselves here, I don't think MKOI can really contest. There's a big wave that JoJo wants to get in top lane.
It's a risky bet. Top wave and mid wave essentially even. Mirwin going to push in on the bottom side though. Try to deny some CS, try to get some plates. So MKOI recognize they're down a man. They don't want to commit the TP. Immediate exhaust on the carry. A 2-man knockup with the pulverize. Good damage. Down, forced to use the Unbreakable will, but he's so low. Supa pushes for a bit more, and it's the big one to get it done. Redemption coming in the mid lane. It's going to heal up the minion as well. Keep the push onto this tower going. And Elyoya wants Guma. MKOI are bloodthirsty and fearless in the mid lane. Faker trying to respond with a push in the meantime, but it's MKOI with a massive lead.
These mid lane collapses are working for MKOI. They're getting the kills, they're getting some waves, but again, they are dropping 1 wave on top on that tower to Faker in the top side of the map. But overall, like, mid-tower for top tower, get the kills. They drop a wave in mid for T1 as well. So I think that's what MKOI spotted going, hang on, where is this Qiyana? She has to be on the bottom side, but JoJo
finding out firsthand exactly where Carry is. Lockdown coming in. Q-Flash goes in forward for Dorn. Pushback coming through on the Pathmaker. Pulls him out of the Redemption. Knocks him down. Owner picks up the kill. Killing spree for the Qiyana.
That was patience from Keria. So long he waited in that bush. Knew that eventually JoJo would walk up and face check. And that's the dragon now for T1.
So important for T1. So much time invested on the bottom side, and they are able to grab the pick. TP coming in from Faker. Want to make sure that they have all members present. Mirwin lingers a bit in the darkness, debates if there's an angle. Thinks better of it as there's a bit of prio in the mid lane. Some minions denied and likely the tier 2 to fall. Supa making good use of that Trinity Force power spike, the Spellblade damage to the towers. Owner debating if he can follow up. Obviously, Earthblade going to do a lot of damage when he gets the next reset on cooldowns. So Mirwin zoned away, but it's just a split map. MKOI getting a tower on the top side. T1 likely to finish off this tower in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and for T1, this is kind of what you want in a split map scenario, being able to match a lot of these plays and keep within touching distance on the goal. You do end up scaling exceptionally well with the Azir and this Varus as the game starts to go on, but I think for MKOI, the fact that so much of this gold is going into the hands of the Orianna.
MKOI slowly trying to work their way in. They have mid lane control. They're trying to get control of the bottom lane. Alvaro going to take about 50% of his HP. Does have access to the redemption, but instead is just going to opt to reset. Herald used in the bottom lane as Owner finds Supa. Face first, pushes him back to the wall, immediately CC'd. Flash forward with the shockwave! Excellent teamwork, but Owner's still going to be able to find his way out. Now Guma's moving in. Ulti is going to connect, but it's Elyoyo who body blocks. Elyoyo with the crescent guard, but the snipe from Guma! Dead center right between the eyes to find the double as MKOI are now on the retreat, and T1 take the fight in the river.
The MKOI carries tried to combo, but it's T1 who are able to find the fight that they want with the positioning and the snipe from Guma. They managed to get the Otacon off the back of it. And it feels a little bit like that series yesterday from 100 Thieves, where the picks and some of the kills were going in MKOI's favor, but when it came towards the objective setup and how to play the map, T1 just ever so slightly ahead. Now MKOI tries to brute force their way in through the mid lane. Faker is separated.
Hot Charm is there. Lock up on Owner, but he goes invisible for a brief moment. Now he's pulled him to the death realm up against Mir when Ulti is really going to do nothing, but Owner's still able to retreat for now. Alvaro taken down. Owner coming over the wall, going to pop out in a brief moment. Wants to get the grass blade, doesn't have time. That's the shutdown, but it should be Supa uncontested. Instead it's Carrier coming in with the pulverize, and now it's Elyoyo versus the world. He goes into the Faker, but there's too many people. There's not enough sky to sunder. There's nothing left to guard. Jojo wants to make the difference, but Guma grabs it. 3-man shockwave. He just doesn't have the damage yet. He doesn't have the items. Jojo keeps him low, but Doran wants to keep going. Q3 ready to pop. Pull through on the all-out. Looking for the Pathmaker to confirm. Tries to predict Jojo, and it just doesn't work. Doran looks like he's about to fall. Nice sidestep on Guma's Q, but Doran just barely able to walk away.
It's the Canadian mid laner trying his best, but it's Faker who's better and snipes him out.
I don't even know if that was necessary. That was the insult after the injury, Rob.
Jojo has been completely isolated. Now Alvaro is in the same boat.
Alvaro caught, will just get taken out there. Important to highlight in the fight, Doran perfectly calculating the Pathmaker, the Cassante W, to catch Mirwin as the Death Realm faded, making sure that there was really nothing he could do.
And Faker playmaker, hiding in the shadows.
2.5k, just about individual gold lead. Shadow Flame, the Verdant Barrier. 10 stacks, he hasn't even upgraded to the book yet, but honestly, he probably could. That is a terrifying Azir. MKOI, I think, in a weird way, happy that he's in the side lane and not right up in their face. So now they have to try and hold on to this tier 2. The wave being ushered in, a bit of poke onto Doran, but they don't really have that much damage. No pen for Supa quite yet.
Kiana. Have you never listened to her voice lines? She is very pumped.
Yeah, pumped up. Guma potentially caught out. Alvaro not able to hit the charm. Only connects on the Carrier. Redemption going in. Q flash from Mirwin. Redemption response from T1. This is a bit of an awkward start. Mirwin losing a ton of health. Pulls Carrier into the Death Realm. And now it's Doran into the backside. 4 members strong from MKOI. Slowly working through the health bars, but down goes Mirwin. Doran only losing about 60% HP. Bit of an awkward exchange of cooldowns, and T1 come out on top.
Yeah, MKOI trying to go back to if it ain't broke, don't fix it, which is just collapse on mid and hope for the best. But T1 have seen through their plan and managed to pick off Mirwin before any real damage is done. And now they're over towards the Baron. But again, face checking is not fun.
No, it's not. Supa losing about 20% HP just for walking in. TP in for Doran, solo zoning Supa, gonna ult him back through the wall. It's gonna take all of MKOI to turn. Doran now trying to retreat back to the waiting arms of his team. In the meantime, the Baron has been taken out. Faker and Owner easily 2-manning it. MKOI, brief moment where they have control of mid, but really nothing else for them to get. I couldn't help myself. MKOI getting the objective bounty. In the meantime, looks like the tower did fall in the bottom lane, but they're just being zoned off, pushed away. May come down to the 50-50 steal if Elyoyo wants to poke his head in.
I think it's done for. This is what I was about to say, was the fact that you don't really have that damage on Jojo, and that Banshee's Veil on Faker just makes him so difficult to lock down, and he is the key target. So great itemization.
And mounting the comeback is now Owner sprinting through the jungle. Alvaro goes over the wall, but there's just members of T1 around every corner ready to lock him down. Supa really does not do enough damage to Doran. He's able to zone him away. Hex flash over the wall. Alvaro locked up and interrupted. Owner trying to one-pop him, but Alvaro lives for an extra second. Nice shockwave, but really only connecting onto Keria. With that major cooldown down, it makes it so easy for Faker to step up, for Guma to step up. Big chunks coming through from the Varus Qs. The piercing arrows connecting. And T1, now that they have the Baron, now that they have access to the bottom lane, will they just go for the throat, or are they going to take their time? Doran unstoppable for a moment. The siege just continues from T1. No real way for MKOI to answer for now.
Yeah, the Gatling gun is a tickle for Doran. The shockwave is a cattle prod for Keria. There is no damage on MKOI's side, and T1 are just kicking down the front door. Reset's coming through now, and they want to keep up this pressure. TP back out onto the map on both top and bot, or top and mid, but is this something?
TP? Faker feels good because he has a death cap, and oh god, he wants to use it! Redemption going in! That looks completely insane, but my man, did he do the math?
That was a display of talent. That was some damage from Faker on that play. MKOI kicked to the curb after that.
The brief moment where they thought they might do something. Oh, Faker's just going to kill everybody by himself. All right. We've learned that the best player of all time's most played champion might be worth taking away. We might have learned it before. Other teams might have learned it before, but MKOI relearning this particular lesson.
Very happy that Fearless exists in this series if you're MKOI, because you do not want to go up against that again. As T1 was siege down the Nexus turrets. The waves aren't here, but the poke can be.
Yep. Guma just continues to free fire. One wave coming in on the top side, likely the end here. MKOI some good looks in that mid game, some good picks. Some good angles on the T1's bottom line as Alvaro gets things kicked off on the Faker. Nice initial bit of damage, but he comes out relatively unscathed. A lot of cooldowns missing. Redemption to get the health bars back up. Alvaro needs to backstep. Big damage. Doran going unstoppable for a moment. Q3 pulls him back through. Elio in the midst of everything, but Doran getting lower. The tower not quite enough. Supreme delay. Talent coming in. Owner still standing for an extra second. I think they've overstayed a bit, but it just doesn't matter because they're not hitting Faker. And he's got more than enough damage to finish the job. The super minions are here too. It is long, it is drawn out, it is only getting more difficult, but Doran remains standing, T1 remains standing. They've only lost Keria. The Nexus exposed.
The defender's advantage is not really looking like an advantage.
Finally gonna end the game, Rob. They took their sweet time. They wanted a couple extra kills. The icing on top of this game one cake. Faker looking for another, the double to finish it. T1 coming in hot in this first game.
Such amazing setup in these team fights. You see how confident he is going in, setting up these shuffles for himself without any CC even towards the end, right? And so
maybe he can work against T1. Supa hoping that this Vayne can once more bring them forward one more game, but this is two hyper scaling carries on the MKOI side with honestly only Braum is that real protection tool. So for people like Doran, for Owner on this Wukong, of both Braum and Trundle, incredibly strong on the invade if they can start getting some of those auto attacks down.
Supa has recognized that fist fighting is the solution. Who's going to get it? That's the third stack. Knockback on Guma. Flash forward auto in the 1v1. Supa comes out on top.
The Vayne dueling power is so strong. And even with the barrier, Gumayushi isn't able to match Supa.
So strong here early on. MKOI now looking to keep that advantage going, but it looks like T1 may have caught them out. Double knockup coming in for Doran. Owner now on the chase. Elio needs to get the hell out. Mirwan not doing much to interrupt. Double flashes. Elio trying to get fancy with the footwork, but it's not nearly enough. Concussive blows continuing to stack, but Mirwan now needs to leave as well. Flash over the wall to Sage, but Keria immediately falls with the Zenith Blade. Now it's Alvaro knocked up. The solo on the top side immediately counteracted by T1 in the bottom lane.
The Tremor Sense doing work there. Spotting Elio and Alvaro as they went into the brush, and T1 pick them off where they stand. And unfortunately for MKOI, you've got T1 who are winning elsewhere on the map. Getting this Dragon now, being able to set up with Owner already on 2 kills. This is where Wukong becomes terrifying in some of these fights, especially as he gets towards that Triforce.
Yeah, Triforce, we've seen it in the Corkis or the Wukongs, right? This is just such a powerful first side of this fight.
At least for MKOI, they've kind of got those 2 parts of the map they can play through. Whereas for T1, again, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see a ton of pressure now towards Faker and Jojo Pyun. Try and do a similar story of what we saw in the last game. Burn flashes on Jojo, rinse and repeat over and over, and just make this Cassio incredibly uncomfortable.
Definitely a solid option as Doran gets a little tricky with the tunnels there. Luckily does not take a tower shot, but now it's Owner coming in behind. Mirwin, of course, has the ulti available. Public execution back into Owner, trying to get tricky with it. Bit of a sidestep there. The Sundering Strike ready to come through, but he just has no time to press the button. 2 spins coming in, but Mirwin! He gets a kill back onto Doran! A catastrophic miscalculation!
That's the second time T1 have tried to dive an Abessa this weekend, and it's the second time it's backfired.
Supa, caught out briefly, cleanses, goes invisible with the final hour, but he's hitting the wrong target. Guma immediately using On the Hunt. Supa now debating if he can chase, but that's the heal coming up for Carrier. Takes over to level 6 just in time, and there's no cleanse this time around! Alvaro comes in to try to body block, flash over from Supa into the bush! Guma not afraid to flash forward, but now he's face first to Elyoya. Concussive blow, stacking 3. Alvaro desperate for the 4th, but it's Faker coming in from behind. Jojo also on the way, but he's just too far away. Alvaro locked up. The hubris of Supa once again punished.
It feels like this balance of powers.
Supa still not able to complete that Blade of the Rune King. Carrier now ghosting and looking for the lockup onto Supa. Supa no cleanse available, going invisible courtesy of the final hour. Now wants to get the hell out, but there's Owner to start spinning. Supa taken down, Owner on a killing spree.
It's everyone on T1 focusing on Supa, making sure this Vayne cannot get ahead. The ghost from Carrier puts him into the perfect position, and even if he doesn't get some of the stuns, just buys the time to Carrier.
Just be careful, pillar down, force to flash. Smite for a bit of extra slow. Ulti already down as well from Elyoya. That's one tanky Trundle. Carrier going to fall. Elyoya still a powerhouse. Owner getting locked up. 2 stacks because of blow, and he uses the clone to escape. They're not going to over push into Guma, but Carrier a little overconfident continuing to push forward there. He Trundle. Carrier going to fall. Elyoya still a powerhouse. Owner getting locked up. 2 stacks because of blow, and he uses the clone to escape. They're not going to over push into Guma, but Carrier a little overconfident continuing to push forward there.
Nice job by the MKOI duo to pick him off. Could have been a bit more, honestly, but the Trundle pillar not quite a backup off Kuda, and now Mirwin training against Doran doesn't want to look for the public execution. In return, T1 going to be getting that dragon, so looking for these trades, but again, T1 kind of playing around. Oh, hang on.
Doran potentially a little bit overconfident, slowed up, he's just getting it taken out. I think thought that he could get a bit more. The rest of the team is on the way. Faker is here, Carrier is here. Nope, he's
The Rek'Sai license.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it top 8, but did you get the Rek'Sai license? I'm not so convinced. It's Faker doing a good job of trading here. Nice sidestep on the Noxious Blast. Jojo needs to get out. Hasn't hit the Noxious Blast, so doesn't really have the movement speed. Conqueror procs. Faker happy with just the flash. Elyoya moving in. The pillar's going to be big here. Nice initial lockup on Supa as he tries to step back. Alvaro doesn't have the Unbreakable quite yet, and they're starting the retreat. Owner getting good chip damage down to Elyoya. The flash still keeping Elyoya alive. Keep your eyes on that Realm Orb. Hand delivered, but he's already been stunned. Owner locks up for a moment, wants to turn on to Elyoya, tries to finish off Supa, but down he goes. Doran arriving just in the nick of time. It's the double knockup. Guma goes over the wall, and he's looking to clean up house. Mirwin's still standing, but he doesn't have the ultimate because of the play earlier. T1 firing back.
Aware of the ruse, and now they're just losing minions top. They're losing minions bot, and the TP from T1 to contest.
Full 5v5. Hex flash over the wall from Carrier. Solar Flare available. The Cyclone as well. Alvaro with the blinking health bar is going to be forced to retreat. Does have access to the redemption, so it'll just be the Herald conceded. Are they going to spot him? Not quite. T1 happy to have the objective, and MKOI slowly losing advantage across the map.
Rift Herald put down immediately. The cavalry from MKOI is here, but T1 are here en masse, and this tower will fall with little MKOI can do.
Mirwin starting to kick a fight off, though. Ulti forced out from Owner. That's the redemption coming forward. He's going to mount up back into the Herald, looking for the triple knockup. Starting to drive through the entire team. Alvaro on the back line. Owner's just hitting everybody. MKOI pulling back. They'll keep their members standing. A lot of cooldowns traded, but no one going to drop. Faker contesting Jojo a bit, but it looks like Jojo just forced to TP out. Doesn't want to take the isolated 1v1.
The Battle Herald was enough.
This is what we've decided. He doesn't probably need any more, but just in case you forgot.
This is the first international event I got to this year. I gotta it's a full
year
year of
strike
Faker praise saved up.
Yep. Fair. He wasn't even at the first one, so I respect that you were saving it for first stand too. T1 going to grab their 3rd Drake of the game. MKOI not feeling like they're in a comfortable spot to contest. They have better push, right? And now they have the advantage in terms of overall gold, and you can see Jojo there as much as he would like to 1v1 Doran and force a greater advantage. He really can't. Doran just walks away, gets the push. Now Atacon has spawned.
We even saw like a Mirren moving to mid to collect the wave, not giving that to Supa means he's just starting to drift further behind. And Gwinsu's Rage Blade is a big item spike, but we don't get there.
Exhaust onto Elia, locked up, all the CC leverage. Alvaro looking for the disengage as Doran's off to the side, has been caught by the Condemned. Guma flashing backwards, already used the spell shield. It's Mirren in the midst of the entire team. Fall with the Petrifying Gaze. Supa's still untouched for now. Slowly they're chipping through the health bars and Doran's about to fall. That's the Silver Bolts proccing, blinking health bars across all of MKOI as they start to retreat. Guma, Faker, still alive, the Realm Warp available. T1, do they want to chase?
Public execution of Mirren, he's going!
We're gonna go back on Guma. Guma with a perfect spell shield, looking for the follow-up as well. Still standing for a moment, but Elia goes right in, looking to chop a bite out of Guma. Supa gets the kill, but Faker untouched for now. Again, MKOI playing on the edge. Owner about to be hand-delivered. Elia looking for the angle with the pillar. Extra movement speed for Jojo, he's not gonna be able to escape. They turn back onto Owner. MKOI still standing.
Faker goes for the kill on his mid laner, but leaves his jungle out to dry, and MKOI, when it looked like things were going dire, resources well allocated here, as Adakan just going to go down because they're trading this for Dragon.
MKOI presumably know this is happening as they set up around the Drake, just don't want to give up soul to this T1 team, but losing Adakan is huge. The XP advantage, the adaptive force. MKOI buy themselves a few more minutes. You talked about it before, 3 items, 2 items. Maybe they feel like they just need a bit more time, and this does give them time. Have a bot wave that they would kind of like to push in. The price of admission for them even to group here is going to be a wave of minions. They fail here, they'll only be even further behind. They're betting it all on this play. That's the Solar Flare, but no immediate fall. Block up onto Jojo Puna is good. Doran going in as well. Jojo Puna flashing forward. They're looking to take out Guma in the midst of the entire fight, but another knockup coming in just in time to keep Guma standing. Mirren taking him down and moving back out of the fight in the midst. It's the Owner taken out as well. T1 ready to come in with the Realm Warp, ready to turn it back. MKOI though, still 3 members strong. Doran debating, where does he go? What is the angle for this fight?
Supa's lost the ultimate though. He's now way more vulnerable in this fight, and Doran wants to go for it. No flash available for him though.
Elia and Alvaro need to protect Supa. So much damage could come out of this vein, but if a single piece of CC connects, there's likely little they can do to stop any further damage. Heal comes in from Alvaro. Objective getting lower. Knockup coming in from Doran. That's Alvaro taking out of the equation, and Faker's now on the hunt looking to zone Supa out as well. Elia needs to take away the Dragon, needs to deny the soul, and he will do so. Still standing for a damn long time, but not enough to turn the fight. Faker, Doran, Carrier, too strong. MKOI might get the objective, but they lose just about everyone.
And the Baron is still a target here for T1, and Owner is about to come back up onto the map.
Mirren not even sure if he can step up. MKOI after that last fight don't feel confident to contest. T1 taking the Baron at 29 minutes. Gonna have to see what they can do with the Red Bull Baron power play because there's no response from MKOI.
And Dracos, he talks about the short range already on T1. Having this is a huge book.
Public execution, it looks like they want to get some exit kills in the meantime. Locking up Owner, looking to take him down. Faker and Gumayushi on the way in, but the Redemption already used. No other summoner spells. So we'll just be the single pick that will slow down this Baron, but MKOI know that they need to play for more. They can't afford to let T1 choke them out.
The Rivalries onto Faker though, the slow, nearly enough to keep him in place, but that will slow down this Red Bull Baron power play from T1 because they just don't have the members on the map.
Guma with the Ricochet can just make these MKOI members eat so much damage even while they try to defend their own towers. And on the hunt, available. MKOI overcommit here. Oh, you'll walk face first into Guma. Lockup is there. Ulti connects from Alvaro. Nice Petrifying Gaze to kick things off, and down they go. MKOI with one more fast play. One more pick, but this time they want the full fight. It's Doran splitting off. In the meantime, MKOI immediately turned back. That's to get them right back into the wall. Lockup for the concussive blows, but the tunnel's keeping Doran standing. All of T1 immediately retreat. They want nothing to do with this. Doran will be sacrificed. T1 punished.
Flashless Gumayushi was caught by Ayoya, and that miasma barely keeps him in check, so MKOI can chase them down. And it is just Gumayushi missing his barrier alongside it, so maybe vulnerable if MKOI can get on top of him and miasma can lock him in place. But MKOI now taking control here once more in River.
Faker waiting off to the side. MKOI no vision up into mid lane. A few creeps going to be missed here by MKOI, but they know that's the price to contest this Drake. Doran off on the side, isolated as well, taunting, threatening, trying to distract the members of MKOI. Flash forward from Jojo, completely whiffs. Owner immediately turns right back. Alvaro tries to find the disengage. Lock up onto Guma, does not come through. Mirren cannot find the angle. Supa still standing for now. Knock back into the wall is good, but Owner wants to take down the bait. He doesn't quite have the damage. Supa still standing, but the rest of MKOI are starting to fall. He splits back into Mirren. Tumble back into the back line. Knock up from Doran. One more ferocious bite, but the Condemn says not today. Supa standing, but here comes Faker.
Faker finishes off Super and holds the game for T1 in his hands. It looked like Super might have been able to hold it, but now with the Dragon Soul in T1's favor, what looked like desperation in the fight may just crumble before them.
That control ward in the pit, though, MKOI didn't take it away, so it means T1 know that they have the time to play slow, to ease into this. Faker flashing forward, trying to get more out of JoJoPyun. JoJoPyun taking his time. The Petrifying Gaze only going to connect onto Owner. Immediate exhaust to follow up. Doran looking for the knockup as well. And just now, Supa's finally able to join the fight. The Realm Warp going to bring only a few minions in, but that's a clutch pick for T1.
MKOI separated as they try to contest the mid wave while keeping their approach on Baron free. And T1 pounce. That was exactly what they needed in the moment. And just like that, T1 are getting objective after objective.
T1 on the precipice of taking the series. MKOI, the cusp of elimination. Have to hold the line.
Doran very quickly making his way through that middle turret. The Demolish doing work. As T1 just letting the minions do the work for them on the bottom lane. There is no one that can really approach these waves, and that wave clear is abysmal on MKOI's side.
That it is. Everyone trying to contest Doran, but again, the tunnels are set up. He's not even going to use it if he doesn't have to. Another inhibitor tower falling, likely 2 inhibitors to follow.
There is a wave amassing on the top side. MKOI Worlds starting to sneak away from them as T1 continue to put a stranglehold on this game.
Supa walking up stun initially onto Owner, does still have access to the GA. Double ultis, both supports trading, and T1 with a quick retreat. Happy to have 2 inhibitors, no need to risk anything else.
Looking for, they found Guma. They end up interrupting him, but no public execution to follow. Guma had the flash if he needed to. But it's not just one fight. Mid towers all still stand. Bot lane fully stands. MKOI need to find one fight that can fall into another, that can maybe get that domino going in their favor.
Once more into the abyss, once more from Movistar Koi. Owner locked up for a brief moment, on the hunt used. MKOI retreating back to the river, but unbreakable down for Alvaro already. Oh yeah, isolated. 5 members grouped for MKOI.
Super minions in the bases. MKOI start the Elder. They need to find this fight now and quickly.
TP there for Doran, and he's immediately going to use it to go to the base. He wants to threaten the back door. MKOI don't have great tools to respond to this. T1 just need to keep the pressure on, and Doran will end the game. Owner with the knockup to keep things going. Carrier there as well. Rise with the Realm Warp. It's Faker and Guma alongside Doran to try to end it all. Mirror1 doing his best to hold the line. TP coming in for JoJoPyun. They're not going to be able to cancel it. Mirror1, JoJoPyun, they need to make this work. They don't have the angle. Guma with a perfect spell shield is still going to remain standing. T1 move on to the top 8 at Worlds 2025. MKOI are sent packing.
Everything was taken from them in a moment. MKOI looked like they might have been able to hold on, but T1